Hi everyone, it's Margaret Manning here with Retire Different. Retire Different is a place for people who want to ask great questions in order to get the ability to make good financial decisions as they're approaching retirement and in retirement. And I've got two guests today that are going to talk with us about something that may be on your mind as you're approaching retirement. And it's a controversial topic that I think has many facets to it. So I'd like to introduce you to Pam Krueger. Pam is a financial expert. She is an author and TV personality. She is the co-host of PBS Money Track and also the creator of an online tool called Wealth Ramp. And this is a tool that matches fiduciary advisors to consumers. It's a very interesting product. So welcome, Pam.
Hi, Margaret. Great to be here again.
It's great to have you. Thank you so much for your time. I'm glad you've taken it out. Where are you? Are you in the East Coast, Pam?
I'm on the Cape right now. Yes.
Okay. Well, you're in maybe cooler weather. So Jessica is my second guest, Jessica Searcy. And Jessica is in scorching Arizona. It's lovely to have you here. Jessica is the principal of Searcy Financial Services. They specialize in retirement income planning. And she is the author of all kinds of interesting documents that bring the humanity into the conversation about saving and about financial issues, looking at the lifestyle of the people that she works with. She's a fiduciary advisor who has a lot of experience, 18 years, in fact, in this whole area of conversation about financial planning for retirement. So welcome you two. Let's talk about something that I don't understand much, so I'm looking for you to help. Annuities. People think they're a good idea. Maybe there's a middle ground here. Can you, first of all, Pam, describe to us in simple language what it is? What is an annuity?
There's the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, so I heard.
When we talk about, because we're not talking about one thing. When we talk about an annuity, it sounds like we're talking about one thing. We're not. We're talking about a category. A category of really what it is it's an insurance contract. Okay? It's not an investment. It's an insurance contract. And that contract that you sign with an insurance company that allows you to either deposit some of your own hard-earned savings and then get paid back for the rest of your life out of your savings and so forth as it grows. And or another kind of an annuity is where the insurance company sells it as an investment, like as though you're going to use it to accumulate wealth. But truly, honestly, the real crux of the annuity, the basis of it, the genesis of it, is that it's a contract with an insurance company. And the whole idea behind it originally was, help me make sure that I have insurance to cover in case I live too long and I outlive my savings. So it's really supposed to be a spending down tool, but it's become so convoluted and there are a million different kinds of annuities. So it's not like you can say, all annuities are bad, all annuities are great. They're all different, and there are some that are excellent, and then there are some that are absolutely evil.
Okay, so just to clarify, you say you've got money, you've got cash, and you give it to the insurance company, and even when they pay back everything that you've invested, like all the money that you've paid in, they continue to pay you an agreed amount of money. So you could end up, if you lived, to be 100, you could actually end up making double the amount that you actually put in. Is that correct?
This is why it's insurance companies that issue these contracts, because isn't it just a different type of insurance? That's all it is.
Exactly.
So let's kind of get you in the mix here with explaining like a typical simple idea of an annuity for spending down the rest of your, for the rest of your life.
Okay. So there are different, like you said, there are very different types of annuities. Some of them are intended to be a saving mechanism where you've done a bunch of money into it over a time frame, and then you're intending on pulling money out of it later. Other annuities are what we call single premium immediate annuities. So it's just like what it sounds like. You put the money in, and then you're able to get immediate withdrawals from it. So oftentimes where I see those is when someone is trying to like annuitize a 401k plan, for example. Instead of taking a lump sum and then self-regulating distributions, they instead will annuitize it and then they get essentially a paycheck for life, right? They get a paycheck every month from that pile of money that they invested. So they can be very different things.
So does it have to be cash? I mean, would you have to sell all your stocks and sell everything in order to give the insurance company money, or do they take like your investments as a payment? Is that making any sense? Pam, do you have to? Sorry, Jessica.
Sorry. So typically you're writing them a check. You're giving them
cash.
It might be a distribution from some other source where you would be selling investments
and then
moving that pile of money. But it's typically cash.
Okay. So Pam, you said that there were some that were great. Let's hear about those. And then we'll do the other.
Yeah, and I think that Jessica and I can go back and forth on this because this is where, well, very quickly, let's talk about the annuities that are fantastic. You can buy annuities at Vanguard. They have very, very little fees. They're very transparent. And Jessica, can you just describe when you have a client that you use that type of an annuity for, a fixed annuity, and how it works?
Sure. So there are some people who are very conservative, and their primary concern in life, the thing that keeps them up at night, is this thought of potentially outliving their money. And when you've got someone who is super conservative and that is their primary fear, sometimes the best thing to do is to just, make that fear kind of go away. So with a portion of their portfolio, you might invest in the annuity. That way they know that no matter what happens, they're at least going to get this minimum amount that they know they can live on. And that's a sure done deal.
Jessica, give us a typical example. And Margaret, Jessica said something really important. You don't take all your money.
Yeah, I was going to note it as
no matter, even if it's the greatest annuity in the world, you're just taking a sleeve, a tiny sub part, because you want to create this insurance away from the stock market, away from everything else. We're talking again about annuities that are fixed annuities, that meaning they are just very straightforward. They're not investments. We keep calling them investments, and they're not. They're contracts with insurance companies. So just give me an example of, a real client who, just real quickly, their profile, their persona, and what they do and what they get.
Sure. So married couple, white collar, they've worked pretty hard all of their life. He's getting ready to retire. She's really, really concerned about him retiring, because what if they outlive their money? So you take maybe a fourth of their overall savings, put it into an annuity, make sure that it's fixed. It's never going to shoot the lights out of the ceiling. So even if the market does beautifully, they're locked in at whatever that rate is. No more, no less, right? And that way she can at least sleep at night and know that they're not going to outlive their money.
You can have enough to at least pay the rent and buy the food.
So now you understand why annuities can be used in a really responsible way. Now, what happens when annuities get into the hands of irresponsible salespeople? They have every different flavor of annuity. So insurance companies have these really tricky, and they're nothing but tricky. They're bad. They are basically loading up these things with commissions that you never know about, ever. Even the insurance agents selling them don't even know. Mm-hmm. And those are being sold as, hey, you have $1 million portfolio, give me $750,000 of that right now, and we will invest it. I'm telling you, whenever you hear insurance and investment in the same sentence, run, because it's not. So you've got an insurance product that's pretending to be an investment. It's loaded with fees. It's supposed to mimic an index fund. And they're being sold as, you'll participate in the stock market and you'll get the upside when the stock market goes up, but you'll be protected when the stock market goes down. It will walk the dog, do the dishes, and it's practically free because we just love you. Come on. So those are the evil ones that get sold. So there's an old expression in our business that says annuities are never bought. They're always sold. Because you're always having somebody there to say, let me explain to you the many benefits of this annuity investment. So remember, if you don't remember anything else, when you hear investment in the same sentence as annuity, it's not. If you're going to use it as real insurance, insurance has a place in everybody's portfolio. Insurance has a place in everybody's life. then you use it very surgically and very strategically and very tactically to achieve a certain goal. And you can get it at Vanguard. You can get it at, there's a lot of places that sell insurance. Right. Even now, Jessica, fee-only advisors like yourself have access to DPL and these other providers of guaranteed streams of income that they strip out the commissions. And oh, by the way, I'm not even telling you, Margaret, about all of the penalties that once you're in that box, you can't get out. I have an advisor who had a client, this is literally just the other day, 30 years old, Jessica. And the insurance salesperson or the broker sold a 30-year-old, which you don't need. This whole idea that you're going to invest today in this insurance product, we're going to put you in the stock market through this, and you're going to be protected, and it's going to walk the dog and do everything else, right? And he buys into it, and then he realizes that he made this huge mistake. And he finds out about the commissions, and he finds out that right off the top, he lost 5% of his investment right there to the commission. And he tries to unwind it. Now, the insurance company, because it's a contract, they only give you X number of days, right? So he's like on his, let's say it's, 60 days, Jessica?
Yeah, generally.
Okay, so he's on his 61st day. And he calls the insurance company, goes, oh, I don't want to do this. I changed my mind. The broker tells him to go pound sand. The broker will not unwind it. He says, but it's not in my best interest. The broker says, oh, well, I disagree. I think it's a great product for you. Wouldn't let him have his money back. He can't get his money out without this huge penalty. So
he's already bought the car that he earned with the commission. No, this is really, really interesting. And I think that, the annuity sort of landmine can only be managed properly if you have someone that can help you who's impartial. I mean, that's this kind of where we go back in a complete circle here, Pam, with your tool Wealth Ramp and with Jessica, people like Jessica who have made the decision to be aligned to a different set of standards, where they're looking at the person in front of them as a person, not as a vehicle to make money.
When I'm going to my doctor, and I'm asking about my condition, if I know that my doctor is getting paid by the pharmaceutical company to sell me a certain prescription, how can I possibly expect to get unbiased advice about my condition? He's going to be selling pills. Yeah. But Jessica, can you give us an example of an egregious, like the one I did, but kind of explain a little bit better than I did about the mechanics of how it works when it's used improperly?
Sure. So some of the most egregious ones that I've seen are actually when someone sells an annuity inside of an IRA account. So they take IRA monies, which are growing at a tax deferred rate, and then they roll them over into this annuity under the umbrella of, oh, but you can put this money away and it grows in this tax preferential way, until you're 65. Well, the IRA was already doing that for you. So all you did was lock them in to this contract that is really expensive. And they are generally very expensive. They have years where you can't touch the money. And if you do, then you get these big penalties for taking the money out. And they've got all kinds of riders on them. Insurance people, they love to sell you all these bells and whistles that do all these fancy things to make your money grow faster, to give you more opportunities or more options should you ever want to use them in the future. And all of those, cha-ching, 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 like they all cost excess money. So anytime that I see an annuity that has 3 riders on it, somebody got a big payday on the front end.
Jessica, I've seen an annuity situation like that where someone had basically put in $100,000. I don't even want to use the term invested. They bought an annuity, $100,000, $8,000. $8,000 of that. So that means that only $92,000 of your money is really being invested. And then good luck trying to touch it. So really, Margaret, the point is that there are really good annuities that are very strategic and tactical to help you kind of augment and help you reinforce your retirement, like almost like a Social Security check does. And then there are the annuities that are all the rest of them, which are simply people trying to sell you a bill of goods that you need to know for your own best interest is not in your best interest.
No, I'm really glad we had this conversation. And the reason more than anything is because when people are in this state of mind when they're retiring and they're really panicking and fearful that they are going to outlive their money, something weird happens to your brain. You really do. Fear drives you in the wrong direction. And also, there's a psychology of aging too, which is very difficult to manage. You want just security, you want that kind of, it's crazy, but then you don't think, I can ask someone like Jessica for help. People are there and for advice. For advice.
Just unbiased guidance. On our show on Money Track in season 2, did a story on a gentleman in Florida, in Miami, who was 86 years old, and the insurance salesperson or the broker sold this man 11 different annuities, all inside his retirement account.
Oh, wow.
Family sued, and they got a settlement that basically paid him back about half, but he was in his 90s when he got half that money back. Can you imagine what it does to your dignity?
Yeah.
To feel that you have been taken advantage of. You feel so stupid. So I try to warn people, please don't do anything. Take your time. There's no rush. Try to find unbiased advice that's truly not a salesperson selling these things. Right. So you can really find out the good, the bad, and the ugly.
That's why you're here, and that's why Jessica is here. And, Retire Different really tries hard to pull this all together in very practical ways, actionable ways, not abstract. And so I think today what we've laid out is, that this is an annuity as part of a potential plan for your whole program, but only a part. And you need to go to places like Wealth Ramp and to Jessica, other fiduciaries, and just spend a little bit of money on a consultancy basis to get some advice. And go out to wealthramp.com. That's your website, Pam. And Jessica, yours is searcyfinancialservices.com, correct? I'm so happy to have you here on Retire Different. I'm so happy to have this ongoing conversation with you, Pam. And Jessica, thank you so much for being here today. It's been enlightening.
I just love everything you're doing, Margaret. I think it's really very, very helpful to people to highlight these things. And I really applaud what you're doing. I love your work.
Thank you. We care, as you do, as you both do. We really do. Take very good care of yourself. Okay, bye-bye for now.
See you soon.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our Retire Different YouTube channel and check out our website at retiredifferent.com. We are a community of people who are asking questions and trying to make good financial decisions so that we can have an amazing retirement. We'll be looking at our relationship to money and also places that we can go for support, advice, and inspiration.